On March 4, 1865, Abraham Lincoln stood before a nation fractured by 4 years of brutal civil war. The shadow of Gettysburg loomed large. The outcome of the war was no longer in doubt. The Union would soon be restored. Yet the cost of victory had been staggering. Hundreds of thousands lay dead. The South was in ruins. Lincoln's second inaugural address was not a celebration of triumph. It was a somber reflection on the war's origins and a plea for reconciliation. He spoke for just over 7 minutes, his words etched with weariness and sorrow. Lincoln acknowledged that both sides had entered the conflict with naive optimism, underestimating its length and ferocity. The war had tested the nation's soul, revealing the depth of its divisions. At the heart of Lincoln's address was the searing issue of slavery. He named it unequivocally as the war's root cause. All knew, Lincoln declared, that this interest was, somehow, the cause of the war. The South had seceded to preserve its peculiar institution, while the North initially fought to prevent its expansion. Lincoln's words were a searing indictment of slavery's inherent evil. He argued that the war was a divine judgment on both North and South for the sin of slavery. The nation, Lincoln believed, was paying a terrible price for its complicity in this monstrous injustice. Lincoln's address was infused with a profound sense of religious conviction. He spoke of a God who was just, even in his judgments. Both sides, Lincoln observed, had prayed to the same God for victory. Yet, God's purpose, he suggested, was not to favor one side over the other, but to purge the nation of its sin. The Almighty has his own purposes, Lincoln intoned. The war, he believed, was a manifestation of God's will, a punishment for the sin of slavery. It was a sobering thought, one that challenged Americans to confront the moral dimensions of the conflict. Lincoln's words resonated with the religious sensibilities of his time, offering a framework for understanding the war's profound significance. Despite the somber tone, Lincoln's address ended with a message of hope and reconciliation. With malice toward none, he urged, with charity for all, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. These words, etched into the American consciousness, offered a path forward, a vision of a nation healed and reunited. Lincoln's second inaugural address was a masterpiece of brevity and eloquence. It was a call for national unity and reconciliation, grounded in a profound understanding of the war's causes and consequences. His words continue to resonate today, reminding us of the fragility of peace and the enduring power of forgiveness.